Married committed men, how often do you let your partners win a debate disagreement to keep? She just has more defined opinions than me on most things. I don't care like 80 of the times I do really care. She can tell and will often differ to me unless she strongly disagrees as read no more Mr. Nice Guy. The last thing you want is to be toxically nice and breed resentment you get out at some point. I hate the phrase happy wife, happy life. It's demeaning. We just both hear each other's side and kind of let it go. There are no winners or losers in our relationship. It's not about keeping score, it's about listening and acknowledge your partner. I always lose. My ex-wife several times, a wife never. We have ongoing disagreements that have lasted over a year and always laugh like hell about them. Totally depends. If it's something that impacts me, I'm way more likely to hold the line, like when she wanted a toilet with a round bowl instead of an oval one. If it's something that impacts her, then I let her live with her decision. Generally, we don't debate, though. Daily? Daily? What would you do if you got $1 million right now? Disappear. I leave social housing for my own place. Buying a new house. Move. Move to another country. Buy a house and invest the rest. Also give the middle finger to my manager. Send it to my bank account and live off the interest. Not be homeless and be able to survive for the rest of my life. Finally, be able to afford rent. 2 chicks at once. Tell you what I'd do, man, 2 chicks at the same time. Invest all of it into mutual funds. Go wild. Wonder who gave it to me. I'd take my friend on a much-needed vacation. He's been talking about going to Ireland for as long as I can remember, but he ain't afford it. Put it all on black. Sell my house and move. Save the rest of my money. I'd give my little pet goat a grand funeral that he never got, and then buy some stuff, give some to the homeless. Rest I'd just save it for future purposes. Shit and pass out. Pay off my debt. Buy a house. Put aside the money for taxes because I can't escape the feds, get a professional to help me invest, and go to Canada to fuck my boyfriend and get my shit together. Give a lot away, buy a home. Pay my ridiculous car payments off. Girls, what is the greenest flag you can find in a guy? Honesty. Like, even when it is a hard truth, he still tells you. You can have all of the communication in the world, but that means nothing if he isn't honest. My dad used to brush the snow off my mom's car and heat it up for her before she gets in. Compassion, especially towards animals and children. Someone who has contingency plans for a number of someone who can keep chill in the direst situations. After reading all the comments, I think it's my looks after all. Law. Empathy, good communication, relaxed, emotional intelligence, ambition, whatever that may be in. Takes no for an answer, listens to your opinions, and treats you like a normal human being. The formula guy waving the green flag to let directors know that all cars are in position. My wife says I give off golden retriever vibes. Not sure what that means, but I'll take it. Respectful, soft-spoken, and empathetic. Someone who isn't constantly conscious of their masculinity or what their friends think. What's your Cassandras Syndrome story where you predicted something bad would happen, but nobody believed you until it was too late? Teenage years, my buddies started using an abandoned house for smoke sessions. Told them that was stupid and a great way to get caught. 2 weeks later, they were all arrested. I remember as a kid hearing about the US invading Iraq over saying to my mom it would be embarrassing for us to invade and find nothing. I was early teens. Also, it made sense to me why Iraq neither wanted to confirm nor deny news. They kept Iran at bay. COVID. When it was just a series of strange infections in Wuhan, I had a strange, very bad feeling about it. I told my co-workers that this will be the pandemic, mark my words. My father died in the second wave. Basically every fucking time I would speak up at work. So their data collection on told me I was being paranoid and that everything was OK because Obama wouldn't use that power. My response was, well, what if the next president is a psychopath? I had no idea how much worse it would be than I believed it could be. What are you doing since Facebook is down? On Reddit, finding out that Facebook is down. I thought I'd finally scrolled to the end. I thought I'd completed social media. When will it end? Facebook is down. Closing my eyes and picturing everyone's face so I don't forget them. Oh, so Instagram is down too then, right? I thought my Wi-Fi sucked. I just cleaned the house, changed the oil in my car, added an addition to the house, and got my master's degree. Who knew how much time I had? Scrolling through Reddit to know why it's down, making sure I haven't been hacked, and on Reddit. It's better anyway. Scrolling Reddit like everyone else. I've reverted back to my primordial state and have started sending SOS smoke signals. Who still uses Facebook? Freaking out that my Facebook has been hacked. Assuring teachers that we have not blocked their access to Facebook and they can in fact teach without it. I work it for schools. Yesterday was like, I'm looking an update here on Reddit. Still not using Facebook. Checking on Reddit if Facebook is down for everyone. Hope it stays down. Looks like everyone is using Reddit instead. Not giving a shit since I don't have a Facebook. Facebook is down. What is some outdated knowledge that many people still believe in? Fish can't remember after 3 seconds. Anyone that owns fish will tell you that is not true. That you only use 10 of your brain. That some folks still think cracking knuckles leads to arthritis. 9 times out of 10 if you hear a bald eagle on screen, it's actually not the sound of a bald eagle. It's a red-tailed hawk. Somewhere along the line, Hollywood decided real bald eagles didn't sound majestic enough, they don't, and replaced it with the high-pitched screech of a red-tailed hawk. That polygraphs work and are accurate. Studies have shown that they are little better than random guessing. Suicides peaking in winter or holiday seasons. In America, the records the highest suicides at the start of spring. There's so much data on this myth. Food pyramid. Saw this on some cooking subreddit. Knowledge is not to use soap to clean cast iron skillets. Realistically, this was established when soaps had lye in them. Nowadays, most soaps don't contain lye, so using soap to clean your cast iron skillet is perfectly OK apparently. I love this list on Wikipedia, list of common misconceptions. The fact that a gallon of liquid is able to propel a car more than a few hundred feet is insane. I marvel at the energy density of gasoline myself from time to time. Not nearly as insane as the fact that a burrito can propel a human for over 20 miles. A lot more if they also have access to a bicycle. Wait till you hear about airplanes. The fact that a gallon on milk is a similar price to gallon of gas is more shower thoughterry. It's not just liquid, it's gas. I'll see myself out. Wait until you hear what a few grams of uranium can do. Honestly, looking at how combustible just a small amount of gasoline is, it's not that crazy. What's crazy is some grass can propel a horse for miles. Your car propels itself by constantly exploding an extremely flammable liquid inside the car in relatively close proximity to the driver of the vehicle. What's insane to me is that someone once said something along the lines of "let us propel this horseless carriage using explosions." And other people thought that was a grand idea. That being said, I now can't picture Carl Benz as anything but a bit of a mad scientist. My understanding is that gasoline has about 1 million calories a gallon. There must be gay couples named Adam and Steve. Somewhere in France there's an Adam and Eve. No, only Adam and Stephen. I'm gay and I've dated someone with the exact same first and middle name as me, and he also had the same birthday. But that's about all he had in common law. Probably was for the better, because if we got married and shared the same last name as well. I know a married gay couple with the names Adam and Steve. They are not amused any more. And somewhere there is a couple named Eve and Lilith. Why are you thinking about gay men in the shower? Even better if you are Alex and Steve and play Minecraft. I know of an Ace and Gary. There's a couple named Gerald Fitzpatrick and Patrick Fitzgerald, as well as Mary and Eve. That's gotta piss off the big man upstairs. There should be Ada and Eve. Oh, I have a gay friend named Steve. I'll try to make this happen. This nonsense gets approved, but my post about beetles wiping their butt and getting poop on the washcloth and wondering if they can sell it for $1 million gets denied. My co-worker is one, too, of one of those couples. But the one guy goes by Stephen. Best joke I ever heard. It's Deuteronomy, not do it to me, Rodney. Late Night with Conan O'Brien was comedy gold. Men and boys, what's the hardest pill you've had to swallow? You can't really be anything you want to be, and you're not special. I was born with a disability, and my siblings weren't. For that they got to live a much successful and happier life than don't want to admit it, but luck is 90 of life, and everything else boils down to fate, that I couldn't complete the higher education course I chose. Switching to a different one in another city too is working out pretty well for me now, though. Amoxicillin. Nobody is required to give a shit about. There's an upside to that pill. I'm not required to give a shit about anyone else either. I get to choose who I give a shit about, and I get to dismiss, ignore, and or disregard anyone else along with anything they say, or that's quite liberating. I recommend it. Aspects of myself are bad and need to change. Never gets easier. Worth every ounce of effort. That my dick will never catch up to my balls. I shall always piss on my balls if I don't aim it. I'm gay, but once it went down I felt way better. When I was a kid, every pill was the hardest to swallow. I don't know what it was with me back then. Maybe I was trying to suck it like it's candy, and the bitterness stimulate my gag reflex. It's not a problem anymore, though. You have to be bisexual to fully appreciate how bad the opposite sex is at oral sex. I've had amazing head from both sides, and some very head too. Redditors of Reddit, what's your favorite sex when the sex is sex, and the sex has the sex, and when you can have the sex? I'm bi-uff. I've had god-tier head from women, and head from guys. The reverse is also my anecdotal experience. Women are much better kissers and men tend to be more selfish, but those are really the only semi-constants, and even that's not 100. The better you enjoy giving it, the better you are at it. Cis male, no complaints from female partners. Maybe you're just bad at communicating your needs. By woman here, I've found no correlation between gender and giving good head. There have been men who were fantastic and women who suck. The deciding factors are experience, willingness to put in effort, and ability to take direction. My husband is pretty incredible at it. Disagree. As a bisexual male who had instantly slutty days across my March 7, 2024, I can attest that my wife's head game is peak human performance. Op is bad at thoughts. What membership is 100 worth every penny you pay for it? As a parent, the local children's science museums. Got more than my money's worth on bad weather days. The US National Park senior best bargain in the nation. This made me remember Movipis, and now I'm sad. I pay $70 a month for a family of 4, and it includes use of the pool, gym, and sauna, and up to 4 hours of childcare a day. I go nearly every day and have lost 60 pounds over the last 6 months. It's also my only childcare as a stay-at-home mom, so it keeps me sane. Public library. I have a subscription for air filters for the Home Filter Easy. It's one of those things you always forget to replace. Then when you see them at the store, you forget what size you need. With the subscription, The correct ones come in the mail every 3 months like clockwork. Edited to include the company I use for this service, a gym membership you actually use, or equivalent roadside service club in your respective country. A single tow costs more than your membership, and it quickly pays for itself, plus all the other discounts and affiliated services they offer. It is absolutely worth the money. It saved me Costco. What is the most obvious sign a couple won't last long? Different argument styles. Shows contempt for spouse. Talks shit about each other to friends. They casually show signs that they don't respect each other. It can be a lot of eye-rolling, mocking, condescending laugh, casually saying you're so stupid, embarrassing in front of friends. When they act as though they don't like or respect you. And when you point that out, they say you're being too sensitive. After I was married about 3 years, a coworker that had been married for a few months asked how long we lasted before we ran out of stuff to talk about. I figured that was bad sign. Having a kid will bring us closer together and things will get better. When one person really wants a threesome and the other person really doesn't want a threesome, see their conflict resolution process. One does not listen when one talks. Look at their face when they get a phone call from the other person. Tells you all you need to know. When they fight with each other in a passive-aggressive way in front of friends. Went to this dinner once where the guy was showing off his new plasma television, and it ended up with the girl throwing one of his awards into the television to smash it. Really uncomfortable to be a guest there. Attempting to transform the other person in its entirety. Never succeeds.